Another nor'easter is hitting us. It's supposed to be another foot. So we got 16 inches, 16, 18 inches last time. This time it's another foot. Everything's shut down. We're just all tired of it. My little Charlie. What you doing, boo-boo? What? You got a little something on your chin there, bud. Should we go see the chickies? Could get them some food. My pretty little Black Panther. Oh, it's windy. That's one thing, it's supposed to be really windy with this storm. So we're all a little more concerned for a power outage. I don't know why, but my phone keeps like shutting itself off, so I hope I don't lose you guys. See how the wind is affecting the girls. I mean, even with the storm panels up, it still's pretty bad. The wind comes through and... Hi, ladies! Come on. Did you have to poop right in front of the door? Ouch. What's going on? You have to bring the girls out some more water. You're going through your water fast. How about some food? Ready to go back inside, boo-boo? Yeah. You're ready. Okay. Come on, baby. Let's go inside. Let's go. It's cold. And raw. What do you say, Charlie? So, it's really nasty out and everything's been canceled in town. All my day has been canceled, which is really, really awesome because it lets me go ahead and do something I've been wanting to do for a while now. I've started a little bit, but I really wasn't able to get into it. Let me show you what I did. So some of you may remember my treasure chest. It houses all my seeds. I did talk about it in a previous episode. And what I've done over the past week, getting everything ready for the gardening season, is I've done a very, very rough blueprint layout for my garden this year. I've done the diagram paper, the quadrants, everything like that, and it still hadn't turned out the way I wanted it. I still had to improvise, so instead of spending hours and hours designing it on paper, I just do a rough blueprint and I play it by ear when I actually plant it. It's all based on combined gardening, things that work well with other things. And I have 4 sections total for the for the actual garden section. This section I have bush beans and broccoli and cauliflower, beets, kale, celery, things of that sort. Cucumbers all along the back side over here. I'm just going to have a whole trellis laid out right there. There's a gully right on that side. A whole rock pit area right over there. So it works out really well right there. Over here I have peas right next to the cucumbers, carrots, lettuce, radishes. I'll probably throw in some beets around there also. Arugula, leeks, zucchini and squashes right along here. Probably also the loofah squash, our sponge plant. Tomatoes and basil. It's going to be a huge section of just tomatoes. We love tomatoes. Onions and garlics, peppers and eggplants. and bush beans. We have a lot of spots for bush beans, just because they're easy to use. Strawberries and parsley. There's going to be a whole mix of herbs mixed in with this as well. Up here is going to be the herb garden. It's getting expanded fully this year, which I'm going to have a huge selection of herbs up in this section. And this is just reminding me that I have in the back quadrant, behind the house, behind the chicken coop, is going to be the corn, the peas, the watermelon, and pumpkin. So I don't have to add that into this section. So it's all laid out. As I said, rough diagram. So here is Clyde's calendar. This is how I primarily go ahead and do my garden planning for the year. It's a really nifty tool. I will put a link in the description to get your own Clyde's calendar. If you do garden, I would recommend using this. It really is helpful. You set it to your last frost date last year, and he'll go ahead and lay out what you need to plant inside, what you need to get started inside, and when you need to plant it outside, that kind of thing. It really, really is helpful. And then it also has some of the friendly combined garden plants on the side to help you out. So I went based on this and also reading the back of some packets, because some things are not on here, Clyde. Like celery. Seriously, man. No, so there are a lot of things, and a lot of herbs also are not on here also. So I looked on the back of the package, found out when I should start them inside and when I should start them outside, best to my ability. And what I did is I actually organized. I know, I've impressed myself. It is a miracle. I organized all my seeds based on when they need to be planted inside or outside on the date. So like in April 1st, I have 2 packets because there are a lot of things getting started inside on April 1st. And it goes all the way until May 24th, because May 25th is our last frost date for last year. May 24th is, I believe it's a Thursday, which I have off. And so I base this also on my days off. I figure out where the closest day off is, and that's the date I put on there. So this way, I just go through and be like, it is, okay, I still have a little more time. You know, I don't have to look at the calendar every single day and be like, when do I need to plant that? When can I do all this together? It makes life a lot easier. And then I also have July 24th on here. That would be for the start for some of my fall garden items. So, a really useful tip. I even showed Mitch, and he was pretty impressed. He's like, ooh, that's cool. So, I'm pretty happy with this. I would recommend you do it if you can. Also, another really useful thing, obviously, Ziploc bags. Again, I'm not a fan of plastic, but it does have its purposes and its places. One thing Mom sent me this year are these little pill pocket envelopes for storing your seeds. So you just put the date, or you put the year that it was planted, or what it was used for, or when you collected them. Like Mom sent me lemongrass, and it was from 2017. The seed packet that I originally got this from was 2011 and 2000. I planted it 2018, so I'll actually get to see if it works. This is dinosaur kale, organic heirloom, so it should actually grow since it is an heirloom. But these are really neat, so I'm giving them a shot this year. The only thing it's missing really is a picture, but hopefully you know these plants if you've already planted them. So it's a good way to store your seeds after you've opened the paper packaging, you know, because they're never ever secure after that. So that's one thing I do like about Seed of Change, and also the Patriot seeds, is they come in these resealable packets. But this works if you do not have that option. Hey y'all. So it's horrible outside. It's really, really gross. Just from the 3 hours from when Charlie and I went out, which you saw a little bit ago, it's now up to my knees. So it's pretty bad. We've gotten a considerable amount of inches just in the short amount of time. Charlie and I, well, Mitch is out snowblowing right now, trying to keep up with it. Charlie and I are working inside. As you can tell, this is not my usual spot. Usually I'm in the kitchen or outside. Well, we're in the basement. We're in the dungeon right now. And we are setting up our grow light system and our trays, our starters. I've already started my onions, and I put some things to seed last night, and I'm finishing up putting everything to seed today. I have quite a bit. It's mostly all cold crop stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be setting up kind of like our grow light system. I'm actually going to put a board straight across down from the beam. Show you guys. So here's the beam. I'm going to go and attach a board right here, and I'm going to have it run all the way down. It's just a simple thin board. I'm going to attach that right up there, and that way I can attach the grow lights on here. And I'm going to secure the grow lights with screws. I found that works really, really good. It's not going to be pretty. Almost nothing that I build is actually pretty. So it's just going to be functional, and that's the primary thing we want right now. And I will be able to set up 2 grow lights off of this. So considering that it's me and I only managed to slightly hurt myself a little, that's pretty good. I'm pretty proud of that. That's not going to work. I think that's going to be way too much heat. Dang nammit. If I attach another 2x4 and then have that on top of it, that might work. It's just too close. I do have another 2x4. Alright, second attempt. So after realizing that first design wasn't going to work, I put up a 2x4, and then I'm going to attach this onto the 2x4, which then will go ahead and add a little more distance from the actual plants, hopefully. Alright, so now I have the board. It's not right next to this anymore. Here's hoping. Yeah, that should work. Much better. Nice. Alright. Where I'm going to put the screw. So what I like to do is I like to screw in, it's right there, and then it gives it something else to hold on to besides just the wood. I don't need that anymore. And I know it's longer. It actually sticks through on both sides. So that way it secures on both sides with the light hook. There we go. Let there be light. Nice. Whew, I'm glad that worked. I just thought of it. Well, this is kind of the same idea that we had for the chick brooder when we raised our chicks. We used a board and we secured it with screws to actually decide how, and then we used that board and we lowered it and lifted it for what we wanted it for. Sweet. And I'll probably move it throughout the day, so it's just not one section that's getting tons of light throughout the day. I really do not want to spend a whole bunch of money on our starters. So I did have everything right on here, but I realized I would very quickly run out of space. So I cleared off one of our shelves, our shelving units, and set up the board and the heat lamp, the grow lights on that. Now I was going to set up my other grow light right there, but my bulb, which was in the package, decided to not work. So I'm still at seedling process. There's only one thing where it actually has sprouted, which is the onions, which I'll show you. So I just decided to put the heat mat down, the grow mat down. All my seedlings, I just have rows of them, and I went and tagged each set. So let me show you my onions, which have been growing for a little bit now. There's my onions. They're a little leggy, but I checked to see if they needed transplanting, but they're not ready yet. That's the open spot right there. But lots of onions. And we have thyme and leeks in this section. And then we have chives. This is the lemon mint, and that's rosemary. I'll show you those. I use whatever I can get, whatever I have left over. And this actually is just a whole tray of just cat grass for our cats, because we have another foot of snow, possibly. Truthfully, it looks like more snow than that. My cats are going berserk along with my chickens. And this is leeks, chives, cabbage, cauliflower, and eggplant. This is lemongrass, celery, lavender, and basil. And so those are on our heat mat right here, which doesn't get too hot, but it's enough to warm up the containers so they start seed. So that's what I've been doing. Truthfully, just clearing off the shelving here was a miracle all in itself. So I'm pretty happy. So I'm not joking. Mitch just shoveled all of the deck off. And maybe it's been, I don't know, maybe it's been about an hour. And it's already pretty high. I'd say we already got about 4 inches. It is coming down like crazy. He keeps snow blowing, but it fills up as soon as he finishes. So I hope you guys are starting your seedlings if you can, and you're enjoying the thought of spring and you're not having to endure all this fun snow that like we are right now. I hope you all are happy and healthy, and thanks again for watching. If you like this, please hit the like button, share, subscribe, and as always, have a wonderful day, and thanks for visiting us here at the Hickok Homestead. Bye.